So question six is a little bit different. So let's look at this one. Suppose you want to purchase a $289,000 home and you are required to put $64,000 down. Whoa. So this is probably not your starter home. This is where you've kind of made some money over time. So complete the table that we have below here. So the first thing in the table looks like we're missing is the monthly payment. But notice how the principal's 225,000 because you start out with a $289,000 home. Let me try to type that in. So 289,000. But if we subtract a down payment of 64,000, this is going to leave us 225,000 that we're borrowing from the bank. So to find the regular monthly payment, I'm going to use the TVM solver. So the first thing is how many payments do we have? So we're buying over 30 years. So 30 years, and we're paying 12 times a year, 12 monthly payments. So 360, I'm sorry, 30 years times 12 is going to give us the 360. So that's going to be the number of payments over the lifetime of the loan. So the three interest rate is 3.25, so we don't have a horrible interest rate. The present value is what we're borrowing, which again was this $225,000 is what we actually borrowed. That's our present value. We don't know the regular monthly payment. We're going to solve for that. Our future value is going to be zero. And as we said, the payments per year, we're paying 12 monthly payments, but it's also being compounded 12 times a year. So if we put this into our calculator, so apps, TVM solver thing, finance. So 360 goes there. And remember, you can also just use the table to do this as well. It's pretty quick. So interest rate was 3.25. Present value is 225,000. We do not know the payment. The future value is zero. We're making 12 payments. So that's not 12. And compounding 12 times a year. Now, if we go up here to regular monthly payment, we can solve for that. So hit alpha, solve, and it'll give us our monthly payment. So if we go over here, we know we're going to be paying $979 and 21 cents as our number there. Now, what they want to know is how much we pay over the life of the loan. So if we make $979.21, we have to pay that once a month, but notice how we have to pay that 360 times. So if we quit this to figure out the total amount of money we pay on the loan, we multiply our monthly payment, which was the 979.21. If we multiply that by 360 payments, that tells me how much I'm paying over the life of the loan. So the total amount of money we put in is going to be this $325,515.60. Now, what they want to know though is the total interest paid on the loan. Well, we borrowed 225,000. We were supposed to pay back 225,000, but notice how we ended up paying back $325,515.60. So if you subtract those two, that's how much money the bank received for lending us that money. So if we subtract that $325,515.60, if we subtract from that 225,000, that's what we borrowed. That tells how much we paid in interest. So the interest was then this $127,515, and 60 cents. Now keep in mind the bank gets most of their money on the front end because you remember how interest worked. a large percentage of the loan was in interest at the very beginning. It's not till later in the loan that we see that breakdown. And again, you could probably find other apps and see that breakdown of what the monthly interest looks like as you go through the life of the loan as well. But we did see a few questions where the interest payment at the front of the loan is much, much higher than what's actually going towards the principal. So again, the total interest over the life loan is $127,515.60. Okay. So again, that's 30 years. So keep that in mind as well.